Emmy Noether was one of the greatest mathematicians of all time. This guy Albert wrote her obituary in 1935, which included the line, "In the judgment of the most competent living mathematicians, Fraulein Noether was the most significant and creative mathematical genius thus far produced since the higher education of women began." When she first went to university, she was one of only 2 women who went there, and she had to get special permission from each lecturer just to audit the classes. She passed her graduation exam in 1903, but then in 1904, Germany announced that they were going to start letting women go to university legitimately. So she went back and got her PhD in just 3 years. And she spent the next 7 years lecturing at the university without pay while making a name for herself as a competent mathematician. And then that Albert dude dropped general relativity in 1915 and really shook up the mathosphere. So these 2 mathematicians, David Hilbert and Felix Klein, asked her to come work with them at the University of Göttingen. They needed her expertise because they were having a hard time making Einstein's equations conserve energy in certain situations. And she shows up at the university and the other professors just flipped out. They were like, "What will our soldiers think when they return to the university and find that they are required to learn at the feet of a woman?" But old Hilbert was like, "I do not see that the sex of the candidate is an argument against her admission. We are a university, not a bathhouse." Anyway, the chump-ass professors won out and she had to continue working for this new university, also without pay. But Emmy solved their problem with conservation pretty much right away. And in the process, she came up with the legit world-changing mathematical theorem now known as Noether's theorem. And I gotta be honest, maths is one of my many weak suits, and Noether's theorem is leagues and leagues above my understanding. And I've tried to explain this one before, but I can't really explain things I don't understand well enough. So hopefully it suffices to say that Noether's theorem changed the mathosphere for good. In their book Symmetry and the Beautiful Universe, Leon Lederman and Christopher Hill wrote that it's certainly one of the most important mathematical theorems ever proved in guiding the development of modern physics. She also more or less invented the field of abstract algebra. And she kept doing good maths in Germany until 1933 when the Nazis started gaining power and they fired her and other Jewish professors. So later that year she made a voyage to America and accepted a position at Bryn Mawr College in Pennsylvania. But just a few years after her escape from Germany in 1935, doctors examining her found a cantaloupe-sized ovarian cyst. And she died suddenly of complications after the surgery at the age of 53.